Hi, y'all. It's me again, sneaking in to see you. Glad to see you. How you like my mask? I got in a little bit of trouble because of that mask last week. A friend of mine, Brenda, made that mask, and I made a statement on this show that my friends over at Fuel So Good were open, and that Starbucks had been closed and was closed, and I got chastised for that. I made a mistake, and I'm terribly sorry. I said that on Tuesday, and Starbucks reopened on the Monday before that, and I didn't know because they didn't send me any message saying that they were going to be open on Monday. They had been closed prior to that, and I still want to prop up my friends over at Fuel So Good because they've done a lot of things for us here at Channel 6, and they're very good personal friends of mine, and I get to say what I want to say about folks and things like that. And because this is our show, and we report the news, and not everybody always likes what it has to say, and we report fun and have fun, and we support our local businesses more than anything else, because the local businesses are the ones that spend money with us. We don't have any government money. For the last 28 years, we brought you information, service, and fun without any funding from anybody other than our sponsors. So that gives us a right to support our sponsors and our local people. I am glad that I'm sorry I made a mistake. And the lady who was upset with it had a right to be upset with it. We appreciate the phone call, and I'll try not to do that again, but I can't swear that it won't happen because I don't really have all the information coming into me that happens everywhere, every day in this town. I wish I did because I love this town. Now, with all of that said, we are opening up some businesses around here, and I think that's a good thing as long as we all stay smart. Just because we're opening up businesses doesn't mean that everybody gets to flock out there and live like we did before, because for a long time we probably don't get to live like we did before. We have a new normal, and we're going to have to be careful and smart how we get together and the things we do. It's wonderful to support our businesses, and our local businesses need your support. I know a lot of people have bought food at the takeout windows and bought food to be delivered to keep our local restaurants and businesses in place to where when we get to go back and start having fun again, they'll still be there. And those are the people who make the fabric of this community what it is, and that's why we love it here. So be safe when you go out, and pay attention. I think our new normal is going to be a really cool thing. I think that we will see hospitals continue to wear a lot of the gear that they're wearing. I think our food places, you'll see most everybody, maybe from now on in the future, it might even be a health department rule, wearing gloves, maybe even masks to a certain extent. And it's just going to be a cleaner, cooler place to be. I saw a thing on television this morning on the Today Show about a machine, a fogging machine that a company has come out with that they can put in a school, a home, a business, and with overnight it kills all of the germs in that school, home, or business. This is something that they're even putting it on buses, to where metro buses in these cities and stuff can have a clean environment. They're cost effective. What a wonderful, wonderful world we live in when something like we've gone through happens, and industry and science and our creative people get together and find new, wonderful things to help us go forward in a more healthy way. And I just think it's just way cool. Thank you for being with us today. What I want to say here, and this will probably be on our news, is this is something I got from Motlow for small businesses. Motlow Trained is ready to bring you an education and tools to assist you in marketing your business today to grow into the future. And this is where you can be enhance your customized website store, train you to maintain your site, teach you how to market your business in the new economy. And a lot of our businesses haven't done that, and Motlow is offering you a free way to learn how to boost your business through the internet and teach you how to do that. So we want our small businesses to come back stronger than ever when our economy breaks open, and it will break open. And when everybody, you're talking about toilet paper, you can't find toilet paper. Think what it's going to be like to get a haircut when 30 million people are trying to get an appointment at the same time you are. Ain't gonna be easy. I got it flying back here wild as a buck. What we're going to do right now is we're going to end this opening segment. Have a great show, so don't go away. Colin Sheeran's going to be with us in a minute with Dennis DeYoung, the singer from Styx, who did a song in 1981, The Best of Times, and he's singing that for us today on Channel 6 right here in Tullahoma right now. Dennis DeYoung.
Hey kids, how you doing? I know, me too. What's a mother to do? I don't know. I guess follow the guidelines and try to stay out of harm's way. What else can we do right now? But you've been asking me, would you sing a song and make us feel better? And I don't know if that's possible or not, but I'll do my best. This goes back to 1981, but it feels appropriate. Tonight's the night we'll make history. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but hopefully soon. Stay safe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Paint
Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm Fran Gray, and I am so honored and thrilled to have with us on the set today Mr. Colin Sharan. Colin, welcome. Normally I would shake your hand, but I guess we're trying to play it safe.
Social distancing, that's
yes.
right.
Are we about 6 feet apart?
We should be 6 feet, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're good, though, so.
All right. Colin, are you from Tullahoma as a native?
Born and raised, Tullahoma.
Okay. Well, tell me, how in this world did you get involved in making films?
I think as every filmmaker starts, you know, they kind of start around their house making films with just their household camera, and that's basically how I started. I had an iPad, just one of the early iPads, to be honest, and I went around the house filming random things from the kitchen to the dogs, you know, just whatever I could find, and I would compile that into short videos, and that's kind of how I got my start.
How old were you then?
I would say I was about 6 or 7 when I started doing these videos, but it wasn't until maybe I got into high school, so maybe about 14, when I started getting into more of the cinema/film world.
Mm-hmm. So you have made a lot of films over these 10, 11 years.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. And understand that you're even making some things for people in the community, is that right?
Definitely. I'm always doing some commercial work for businesses and people in the community just who need it. I've done things for South Jackson Civic Center here in town. I've even done things in Nashville for some businesses.
Have you?
And over the past couple of years, I've come over to about 25 different productions just commercially. So.
Wow. Well, so your fame is already spreading, isn't it?
I hope.
Well, that's just wonderful. I understand you've done some things for your church here in town as well.
Yes, I have.
And that's probably been some of your most meaningful work, would you say?
Definitely, yes. And
Yes.
I'd say my church has helped me a lot in my filmmaking passion, because I've done some films there, obviously. They've let me use their facility for different events. When I had a screening for my most recent film, I went to my church and they let me have a screening there. So I've done a lot of work for the church, as they've helped me too. So I'm appreciative for that.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Now, how about your parents and your sister? Are they supportive in your work?
Oh yeah, definitely. My parents and even my grandparents and cousins, they're all supportive of me. They're my biggest supporters. I'm very thankful for that too. So.
Oh, I'm sure you are. So you are finishing up what year in school?
I'm a junior right now, so I'll be a senior and head over to college.
All right. Well, before we get there, let's talk about what's happening right now. So you have made a big project come to life, haven't you?
I have.
And can you tell us, how did this project come to be? What got you started thinking about doing something even bigger than anything you'd done before?
Sure. So a couple years ago, I was actually a freshman. I was 15 at the time. I'd never made a ambitious project like this. I've done a few short films, but I was at my church one day, and I was talking to my pastor, and he was like, you know, there's this guy who goes to our church. He's got a very interesting story. You should do a documentary on him. And I was like, well, that would be great, but I've never done anything like this. But I guess everybody has their first. So the next week, I had an interview with Carl Smithson, who the film is about, and I walked in with 5 questions, anticipating it would be a 15-minute interview. And I walked out with a 2.5-hour interview. And basically that's how it started, just sitting down and talking and having these conversations. And that led to many different conversations with community leaders and advocates, even an advocate in Nashville, Father Charles Strobel. So.
So can you very briefly describe the production part of putting this together? I asked you the other day if there was any film on the floor, and you said 5 or 6 hours worth?
There was tons of film on the floor. I didn't anticipate the film would be as long as it is. It's 49 minutes roughly, but a ton of footage was left on the floor, and it was all great footage, but it wouldn't fit in the film. But maybe one day I'll come out with a cut with all the uncut footage or whatever. But basically, the production, I was my own company. I was my own production company, acting as the director, the writer, the editor. My family was, the travel, because I didn't want to drive to Nashville all the time, and I would do work on the way. But anyway, I did the filming, and when it came to editing, I spent 6 months on editing, and I did the math, maybe over 350 hours.
Wow.
Simply editing. So I had a key role in the production, I guess you would say.
Oh, well, you had the idea, the desire, and you directed it. And I think as a amateur and a movie goer, I have no clue about what goes into putting something together. Now, when I was a teenager, I made a Super 8 movie with some friends, and it took a long time to put it together too. And I had an old reel-to-reel that I spliced and diced and everything with, but I cannot imagine the magnitude of this project you've done. And I understand something very special now has happened with this film. Would you tell us about your desire to have it critiqued and shown beyond Tullahoma?
Well, part of the film takes place in Nashville. It's a predominantly Nashville-based film. So I'm hoping that maybe one day I can get a screening down there, because there are some people in Nashville who know Carl, that the film is about. And I've had a private screening for family and people who are involved in the film, but I would love to have a free community screening, because more than anything, I want people to see this story, and I want people to listen to the good message that Carl has to share. And right now, I have a limited DVD release. Soon, hopefully, they'll go on sale, as well as Amazon Prime. I'm working with Amazon, and so hopefully everybody will get to see it. That's one of my biggest things. I'd love for everybody to see it. And there's your DVD right there that you got the other day.
Yes, I was just thrilled to be the first official purchaser of Colin's wonderful documentary. But now I'm thinking about Houston. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Okay, yes. So recently I got notification from a film festival. I submitted to probably around 8 or 9 film festivals for this film to compete. And I got a notification from Houston International Film Festival in Texas. And they told me that I was a winner of their award. I was an official selection of their Remy Award. They call it the Remy Award. And there's about 4,500 films and only 10% get selected for this award. So I was very honored. You know, I dreamt about this since I started this project. I didn't think it would win any awards, to be honest, but I'm just humbled and honored to have won that award. They had to postpone it due to COVID-19, but I'm still an award winner. The same as Steven Spielberg and Ang Lee. They're some of the people who have won this award.
Oh my.
So I'm up there. I'm not up there with them, but
well,
I've won
I'd
the
like
same
to
award.
say they're up there with you. Well, we would like to show a trailer from your documentary, My Friend Carl. And as soon as it's safe to get out, I understand that you're going to try to play this at South Jackson Civic Center?
Yes, I have plans to.
So we will plan to announce it here on Channel 6 and get the word out, because I know our community won't want to miss your screening of your very first long feature-length almost documentary, My Friend Carl. So could we please roll that trailer?
I've got a story, you've got a story. Once you get to know a person, you'll find out that you've got more things in common than you would think.
There's a sense of friendship that we have with him based upon the stories that he shared.
Friendships are invaluable to get through life.
He's changing lives. He's making other people's lives better.
How would you describe being homeless?
At times it was enjoyable.
I feel like Carl is a man of his word.
I would say he's a man seeking justice.
Colin, again, I cannot say how proud we are of you and congratulate you on this wonderful vision you've had. And we just wish you well, and remember us back in T-Town when you're going up for your Golden Globes and your Academy Award winning acceptance speech, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and best of luck to you.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, and now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And this, John, is Pat Welch, and we're here for segment 47 of the Conversation with John and Pat. I'm 47, just short of heaven, no question.
Pat, you know, occasionally when a gentleman does not have very much hair like you nor I, we get teased.
Like you?
Yes. And we have to just take it lots of times, but it seems that the ladies, you know, just get off scot-free, and we've always done a song. Jimmy, my brother, does a song. It's called I Think I'm Going Bald.
Yes.
And it's real cute.
John, let me ask you, this may be a vanity problem only of myself. When I close my eyes and think of myself, I've got great hair still. And every once in a while, normally I've got used to looking into a mirror, but if I see a reflection in a store door, clear glass, and the sun's hitting perfect, and I first think, who is it? And oh, that's me without any hair.
Going back, drifting back in your youth, maybe, and remembering that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still thinking I'm 22 years old. I had nice hair.
But since we have done that song, and I came up with this next song.
You didn't answer the question whether you thought the same, John. Do you see yourself as bald now or not?
Well, sometimes not. Don't get too deep into that. But occasionally, after we do the I Think I'm Going Bald, we'll do this song.
Okay.
This is for the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Even up at the playfield.
Yeah.
I can't figure my baby out. She's either up or she's down. She's either wearing a smiley face or wearing an awful frown. When she's in those terrible moods, she's cranky and acting strange. I just get back out of the way until her hormones change. Singing about the hormones, ooh, yeah, women and the hormones. Wish my baby didn't have none of them pesky little hormones. Sometimes Sweetie tells me that I'm her Romeo, and I'll think to myself it ain't nothing about women I don't know. She'll give me a kiss and I'll strut around just like I'm the cock of the walk. Next thing you know, I've made her mad and triggered her hormones off. Singing about the hormones, ooh, yeah, women and the hormones. Wish my baby didn't have none of them pesky little hormones. I know Sweetie loves me, she's so tender and soft. She's just plagued with hormones, Lord knows it ain't her fault. I know she'll stand beside me throughout thick and thin. I don't blame her, but she gets mad and says, hormone time again. Singing about a hormone, ooh, yeah, women and a hormone. Wish my baby didn't have none of them pesky little hormones. Singing about hormones, yeah, women and their hormones. Woo.
John, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, sometimes.
But you know, you can't. If you accuse one of them of having some kind of hormone problem, they got to deny it if they get all crossed and you played right into they played right into your hands.
You're gonna get me in trouble, and you're gonna get in trouble if we keep talking about that.
Let's go to something else then.
Yeah, we're going to talk about softball in Tullahoma. Years ago, there used to be, of course, they have fast pitch ladies high school softball, and then Motlow plays fast pitch. But years ago, there were around this town in the early 70s through the 80s maybe, there were so many softball teams, slow pitch softball.
It was really, really big, and we had the recreation department had still got several fields, but they had even more than then. They were incredibly maintained.
Yeah.
And we'd have tournaments after tournaments in the summer where there were just thousands of people brought to town.
I know Paul Keller brought a guy here one time, and his name was Crusher. I don't really know what his real name was, but he was that person that would hit home runs nearly every time he got up there, and I think just paid him a minimum fee to come and do that. And
one of the I believe it was the field closest to the highway over at Wagner Park. Still there now. They said pitch after pitch, he's putting them up in the trees.
Crusher.
Yeah,
Crusher. I'm gonna look him up on the internet sometime, see what his real name might be.
It'd be either a WWE wrestler or this guy.
Kellers. Keller Chrysler. You remember Paul Keller? He had a team. A&G, Aero, Flea Market, Callaway's, Rigney, 41 Drive-In, Air Force, Worth, WJIG, Diner, Business Card, Tullahoma Power System, Bassmasters, Genesco, Kill Drillers. That was just the men's team in town. Then you had ladies' team, and then you had church league teams, some industrial teams. I mean, softball was a big thing, and maybe people work longer hours where they can't feel like they can play after
It
work.
seemed like it changed almost overnight. You know, there was a real demand for a really long time, but when it fell out of favor, it fell out of favor.
It did. There was I can't remember the name of the organization that oversaw softball in the beginning, but Paul Keller came along later with AAA softball. USSSA. Philip, put up that team picture, please. This is a team that I played for. I played with Keller also, but I played with Ben Jordan and WJIG. And I want to point out the players on this team because they were good guys. First is Dennis Nesbitt on his knee, and Kenny Parker.
That's going across on the knee from left to right.
Yes.
Correct. Keep
Jackie
going.
Dickey, Mike McKenzie, Doc McKenzie, Larry Mackin, who was out at Motlow. He played a short stop for us, I think. Randy Cunningham and Ben's Jordan there. And you notice Ben's doesn't have a hat on there.
That could have been one of the few times ever.
Yeah, and then on the back row, Ricky German, myself, Don Phelps, Jerry Farrah, J.R. Farrah, Stan Lindsay, Sammy Edcock, who's deceased, Kenny Parker, and on that first row, Wayne Limbaugh, and then Ed Jordan, who was the owner of JIG and sponsor of our team. But also on the team was Gary Lohorn, and he was not in the picture. But
John, a lot of y'all kind of went back and forth from Keller's team to WJIG. Was there any kind of monetary?
No.
What was the negotiating tool there?
I didn't negotiate. I just went to another team. I just felt like it's time for me to go somewhere else. I played with Keller, and we had a good team.
Well, that team you just had up there was a fine
They
team.
were a good
Those are
team,
great,
and these were
great
young guys.
players.
Most of them were young guys back at that time, out of high school, and they were good
Philip,
ball
can you
players.
put that picture back up there? John said something about Larry Mackin that played at Motlow. He was in the dark jersey, kneeling. He's the one on the right of the dark jerseys, and he probably weighs 125 pounds if he's lucky.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have been but about 5'6".
Boy, he was good.
Oh, he was one of the finest
Smooth.
athletes that's ever been out in our area. He played when Joe Days was coaching the basketball team at Motlow. And if somebody would press, they'd signal for everybody to get on the other end of the floor, and he'd bring the ball down by himself.
Perry County. From
That's
Linden,
Linden,
Tennessee.
Linden.
And on the back row, second to Wayne, next to Wayne Limbaugh back there, and between he and Stan Lindsay, was Sammy Edcock. And Sammy, as I understand, died in a plane crash.
He
It's
did.
been a long, long time ago.
It's been 20 or 30 years ago.
20 or 30 years ago, and that was a tragedy. And then Kenny Parker, down on one knee there, Kenny had a little substance problem, and poor thing, and tragic, yes. But these guys were good. I see them ever so often, and I was married during that time, and all these guys, you know, they were most of them was, I think all of them were single back at that time, and I'd go home to my wife and kids.
I would describe 99% of those boys as single but highly eligible.
We had a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been Signal Pat, and it's been good to think about WJIG, Keller, and all these other teams. I have a lot of friendships in town from people that I played with back during that day.
That was a great time for city taxes, because there was a whole lot of hotel taxes collected while when those tournaments were going on. They came from all over the country here, some.
Number 47, Pat?
That was 47, John, and it was a great one. Hopefully management's going to let us crawl up on 48. Thank y'all.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is, The Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is, The Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Recently of bringing it to you from home. I reached out to a buddy of ours here at Channel 6 and mine personally, Mr. Chase Clanton, premier guitar player over in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and he's got a band called the Vintage Vibes that plays all around. Great young man, and Chase is going to bring us some music from his home right now. Mr. Chase Clanton.
Hello everybody out there on Channel 6. This is Chase Clanton, and I hope that you're staying well during these trying times. You know, I hope you're staying at home. I hope if you got to go out to the store or something, you're wearing a mask, wearing some gloves. Don't be afraid to do that, even if no one around you doing that. You've got to keep yourself safe, because that's what matters at the end of the day. And this world would be sure lonely without you. Want you to know, on behalf of myself, Chase Clanton, and Chase Clanton and the Vintage Vibes, that we love you, we miss you. We're going to be playing soon when this is over. It's going to be a big party. It's going to be like heaven. And we're all going to be there together. So don't fret. Stay home. Don't sneeze in public, lest you be persecuted for it. And in the meantime, I'm going to play you some songs. There's a Willie Nelson one you might like. When we kissed by and parted. feeling I may know you as a lover, as a friend. This voice keeps whispering in my other ear, tells me I may never see you again, and I got a peaceful, easy feeling, and I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing. I'm already standing. Yes, I'm already standing on the ground. Whoa. Well, I think this song's going to wrap up this little mini set I'm doing for you guys out there in TV land. This is a wonderful thing. I love being on TV. Once again, I have been Chase Clanton, and I want to thank John Gray and Channel 6 for having me on tonight. We're going to wrap this this night up for me with a song by Ricky Skaggs. It's called Can't Shake Jesus. Naked alone on cold cobblestone, they beat him until the blood ran. They brought him to die on a cross up on high, with spikes through his feet and his hands. You can use him, abuse him, or can accuse him, sell him out for 30 pieces, betray him, slay him, do the devil's mayhem, but you can't shake Jesus. Crown of thorns on his brow, his eyes on the crown, all of God's daughters and sons, they're spitting on him, cursing at him, forgive them for what they have done. You can use him, abuse him, or can accuse him, sell him out for 30 pieces, betray him, slay him, do the devil's mayhem, but you can't shake Jesus. Now I've had my bouts, questions and doubts. You know there are those who deceive. I can't resist, escape and dismiss. There's one who is shadowing me. I can lose my religion, break with tradition, say I'll hold out till hell freezes, test him, try him, but I just can't deny him. No, I can't shake Jesus. No, I can't shake Jesus.
me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, now, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, folks, our buddy Lyle Russell comes in from Parks and Rec from time to time, and what a great man he is. What a wonderful job he does. You know, he's responsible for the lunch and learns that we have over at D.W. Wilson, and bringing in everything from songwriters to scientists to you name it. He has them over there, and we have an opportunity to go learn something. Well, Lyle has sent something in to us for Earth Day, and until I want to start getting Lyle to do this on a regular basis, and until we come up with a catchier name, I'm just going to call it Learning with Lyle. So let's go learning with Lyle.
Nature is ever at work, building and pulling down, creating and destroying, keeping everything whirling and flowing, allowing no rest but in rhythmical motion, chasing everything in endless song, out of one beautiful form into another. It's always sunrise somewhere. The dew is never all dried at once. A shower is forever falling, and vapor is ever rising, each in its turn as the round earth rolls. If my soul could escape and be granted the attributes bestowed on spirits, my first ramble on spirit wings would not be among the volcanoes of the moon, nor should I follow the sunbeams to their origin in the sun. Instead, I would hover about the beauty of our own good earth. My first journeys would follow streams to their source and reveal the pattern of a butterfly's wings. I would trace the shores of our oceans and dance on the wind with eagles. I would go to the very center of our world and read the whole splendid story from the beginning. If we contemplate the world as one great dewdrop, flying through space with stars all singing and shining together as one, you are contained in one of nature's most sacred chambers. The morning stars still sing together, and the earth, not yet half made, becomes more beautiful every day.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and now we're going to take you to the East Lincoln School Teacher Parade.
So Travis, man, tell us about what we got going on today.
Well, our teachers are missing our kids, and we really just wanted to give something back to the kids and hopefully the teachers get to see their kids and be out there and waving and just hopefully bring some smiles to the kids and even the parents. The parents need that as well. And it's kind of social and emotional time right now. Everybody's schedules are off, so just trying to bring smiles to folks.
That's what it's all about, right? In these tough times. And as you said, I know the teachers are missing everywhere, all the students like crazy. And you guys, this is a fantastic thing you guys are doing.
Thank you. Well, all the other elementaries did it as well, so it's not just us, and just trying to bring some smiles to the community.
All right, Travis, thanks, man, and can't wait to see these kids. They're gonna love it.
Oh yeah, I think so.
That little boy there.
everybody.
It's so nice to see people.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All you wonderful people out in TV land that love history and love Tullahoma, I just enjoy sharing these things with you so much. And today, we're going to spend a few moments talking about one of Tullahoma's long-time landmarks that, sad to say, was raised in 1968, and that is the King Hotel. The King Hotel was at the corner of Lincoln and at North Atlantic Street in the 100 block. Originally, it was a residence built by Mr. G.W. Stegall that lived there, and this picture shows the front entrance and the side entrance. The side entrance faced Lincoln Street, and the front entrance, of course, went to Atlantic Street. A beautiful home with hardwood floors and ornate fireplaces and light fixtures, and it was just gorgeous. And they lived there for many, many years. And I don't know exactly the date, but 2 3-story wings were added to the back and to the side, the north side of this residence, and they made a beautiful brick 3-story hotel that had, I think, 90 or 100 rooms in it. And the hotel, this is not a very good picture because it was made in the late 20s, and I hope that you viewers can see it. It was surrounded by beautiful trees, and the basement was used for a private dining room and a barber shop, and we shouldn't call it a basement, though. The lower level, I think, would be probably more appropriate. And then the first floor on this end was the dining room, had full-service dining room for the guests and the public. And many salesmen would come to the King Hotel and would, before the advent of a lot of private cars, would get a cab or a horse or whatever and ride to surrounding cities like Manchester and Shelbyville and Fayetteville, and they would call on the merchants and write up their orders and take them back, and they had big tables in the lobby of the hotel where they could visit and write up their orders. And then right in front of the hotel, within 100 yards, was the passenger depot, and they'd take their orders and put them on the railway postal service and the train, and either they'd send their orders to Chattanooga or Nashville, and these orders would be filled, and they'd come back the next day. But it was a gathering spot for everyone, and especially in its heyday, when Camp Forrest was here from 1940 to 1946, they had guests from all over the United States, and really all over the world, and it stayed full all the time. Good service there, and the King family lived in a residence adjacent to it on Lincoln Street. They ran the hotel, and one of our dear friends, the late George Fatty Book, was the clerk there, and everybody loved George, and George probably knew as many people as anybody that had never served in a public office anywhere. And, I think at the peak of George's life, he weighed close to 500 pounds, loved to dance, and George was a fixture as much as the furniture was in the King Hotel. They never had an elevator, but they had beautiful, easy climb steps right in the center of the building, and it was just a great, great building. I don't recall it ever being air-conditioned, but it was always cool in the summertime, and in the wintertime, they had either steam or hot water radiators, and it was a beautiful building, built solid, and it's a shame or a disappointment that the building is not still standing and in use. There is now on that lot where the King Hotel that was formerly a Phillips 66 service station, and it's vacant now. And the next door to it was the Park Hotel that burned many, many years ago, and the railroad office building was there for many years. But the King Hotel has many, many long, wonderful memories for visitors and families alike. And thank you for watching. This is not the end, because there's more to come on the Millennium Moment. Thank you.
Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm glad to have a lovely young lady with me today that I always like having on the show, my bride, Miss Fran Gray, and I'm introducing her today as a authorized Beatrix Potter Society reader, and she's here today to do a offering for you. And Fran, who are you going to do today?
The Tale of Mrs. Tiggywinkle.
The Tale of Mrs. Tittywinkle. So with that said, I'm going to give you Beatrix Potter.
Thank you, John. I am proud to say I'm a member of the Beatrix Potter Society. I'm a reader, and during this challenging time of COVID-19, we are hoping that many, many people are reading, and we hope that they're sharing stories with children, and perhaps children are sharing stories with their adults. And today we're going to read The Tale of Mrs. Tiggywinkle. This is the 6th book that Beatrix Potter penned. She wrote, there we are, there's Ms. Tiggywinkle. There are 24 books that Beatrix wrote. The first 23 are the ones that are usually considered the ones for children. And of course, Peter Rabbit was her first and I think still the most famous story. And in 1905, The Tale of Mrs. Tiggywinkle was published. Beatrix was a wonderful entrepreneur, a writer, among other things, and she created many jobs even today for people to help promote her stories, her cause. And I have with me a Mrs. Tiggywinkle. This Mrs. Tiggywinkle belonged to a friend of ours, Mrs. Dale Schaefer in California, and she was ready to share Mrs. Tiggywinkle with other readers, and so Mrs. Tiggywinkle moved from California to Tullahoma, and we are so pleased that she agreed to join us today as we talk about her. She was a washerwoman, and she loved to iron. Some of you may remember when people would put their irons on the stove to heat up. Some people may not remember ever seeing an iron because not many people have irons anymore or use irons in their laundry. But Mrs. Tiggywinkle was very, very good at washing and using clear starch and ironing the animals' clothing. So we are thrilled that she has come to live with us in Tennessee, and I'm going to let her sit here with me as we read her story. I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible because I know we all have lots to do. And this story was written for the real little Lucy of Newlands. Once upon a time, there was a time and a little girl called Lucy who lived at a farm called Littletown. She was a good little girl, only she was always losing her pocket handkerchiefs. One day, little Lucy came into the farmyard crying, and oh, she did cry so. I've lost my pocket hankin. 3 hankins and a penny. Have you seen them, Tabby Kitten? And just so you'll know, a penny is not a penny like we think of as a coin. Penny is short for pinafore. Some of us may have worn pinafores when we were little girls. The kitten went on washing her white paws, so Lucy asked a speckled hen, "Sally Henny Penny, have you found 3 pocket hankins?" But the speckled hen ran into a barn clucking, "I go barefoot, barefoot, barefoot." And then Lucy asked Cock Robin, sitting on a twig. Cock Robin looked sideways at Lucy with his bright black eye, and he flew over a stile and away. Lucy climbed upon the stile and looked up at the hill behind Littletown, a hill that goes up, up, into the clouds as though it had no top. And a great way up the hillside she thought she saw some white things spread upon the grass. Lucy scrambled up the hill as fast as her short legs would carry her. She ran along a steep pathway, up and up, until Littletown was right away down below. She could have dropped a pebble down the chimney. Presently she came to a spring bubbling out from the hillside. Someone had stood a tin can upon a stone to catch the water, but the water was already running over, for the can was no bigger than an egg cup. And where the sand upon the path was wet, there were footprints of a very small person. Lucy ran on and on. The path ended under a big rock. The grass was short and green, and there were clothes props cut from bracken stems, with lines of plaited rushes and a heap of tiny clothespins, but no pocket hankins. But there was something else, a door straight into the hill, and inside it someone was singing, "Lily white and clean-o, with little frills beyond-o, smooth and hot, red rusty spot, never here been seen, ho." Well, Lucy knocked once, twice, and interrupted the song. A little frightened voice called out, "Who's that?" Lucy opened the door, and what do you think there was inside the hillside? A nice clean kitchen with a flagged door and wooden beams, just like any other farm kitchen. Only the ceiling was so low that Lucy's head nearly touched it, and the pots and pans were small, and so was everything here. There was a nice, hot, singy smell, and at the table with an iron in her hand stood a very stout, short person, staring anxiously at Lucy. Her print gown was tucked up, and she was wearing a large apron over her striped petticoat. Her little black nose went sniffle, sniffle, snuffle, and her eyes went twinkle, twinkle. And underneath her cap, where Lucy had yellow curls, that little person had prickles. "Who are you?" said Lucy. "Have you seen my pocket hankins?" The little person made a bob curtsy. "Oh, yes, if you please 'em. My name is Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. Oh, yes, if you please 'em. I'm an excellent clear starcher." And she took something out of a clothes basket and spread it on the ironing blanket. "What's that thing?" said Lucy. "That's not my pocket hankin." "Oh, no, if you please 'em. That's a little scarlet waistcoat belonging to Cock Robin." And she ironed it and folded it and put it on one side. Then she took something else off a clothes horse. "This isn't my penny," said Lucy. "Oh, no, if you please 'em. That's a damask tablecloth belonging to Jenny Wren. Look how it's stained from currant wine. It's very bad to wash," said Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. Mrs. Tiggy Winkle's nose went sniffle, sniffle, snuffle, and her eyes went twinkle, twinkle, and she fetched another hot iron from the fire. The story goes on, and Mrs. Tiggy Winkle continues to bring more and more items out of the basket to iron. Finally, would you believe, she actually runs across Lucy's penny, her pinafore, and her hankins. And she very carefully irons them, and then they make little bundles of these clothes, and they start out from the hillside. First, though, they have to have a cup of tea. Tea is very important to get you through the day, you know. So they go out. Mrs. Tiggy Winkle hides the key to her hillside house under the door, and she and Lucy go and deliver. They deliver bundles of clothes down the path to the little animals. First, Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny. She had pressed their little jackets. And then she gave little bundles to animals and birds, little clothes that she had ironed with her special iron. They get to the bottom of the hill, and Lucy still has her one little bundle. Lucy scrambled up the stile with the bundle in her hand, and then she turned to say good night and to thank the washerwoman. But what a very odd thing. Mrs. Tiggywinkle had not waited either for thanks or for the washing bill. She was running up the hill, and where was her white frilled cap, and her shawl, and her gown, and her petticoat? And how small she had grown, and how brown, and covered with prickles. Why, Mrs. Tiggywinkle was nothing but a hedgehog. Now, some people say that little Lucy had been asleep upon the stile, but then how could she have found 3 clean pocket handkins and a penny, penned with a silver safety pin? And besides, I have seen that door into the back of the hill called Cat Bell's, and besides, I am very well acquainted with Mrs. Tiggywinkle. We hope that you'll get acquainted with Mrs. Tiggywinkle too, and Peter Rabbit, and Benjamin Bunny, as they love to get into mischief, and the Flopsy Bunnies, and Jemima Puddle Duck, and many more. Enjoy reading, especially Beatrix Potter. Thank you. I just
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and there's Miss Tiggywinkle right there with my girl Fran, and we thank you for coming on and doing what you do and going to, a lot of people might not realize that Fran goes to garden clubs and bookstores and schools and kindergartens and birthday parties and just Parnassus Books in Nashville, Cheekwood, and reads and furthers the story of Beatrix Potter in the southern part of the United States. How many members are there in the United States of the Beatrix Potter Society?
Oh, I'd say over 1,000. In fact, there are more members now in the United States than in England.
Really?
It's very surprising. But she is followed worldwide. There's a big contingency in Japan, and her stories have been translated into many languages, and again, her legacy continues, and not just about her wonderful characters, but about her conservation, and that's another story for another day.
Yes, and we just appreciate Fran and that whole society for standing up for what she stood up for, which is a lot of it was women's rights and being able to do something in a time when women weren't allowed to do it. And an incredible story. Look into Beatrix Potter. And we want to thank you for being here with us today. And remember, when you go back out there, be safe. Wear your mask where you need to.
Mrs. Tiggywinkle can take her hankin and
got a hanky she can put over. There you go.
Look at that. We don't want anything to happen to her.
You know, when people say, "Oh, I don't have a mask," well, tear up an old bed sheet, put a T-shirt tied around your neck, a bandana, anything to keep you from breathing on someone else. And remember, this is not so much to protect you from someone else, it's to protect someone from breathing onto you. So you folks out there, that might have this virus and don't know it, are spreading it. Everyone, when they're among people, needs to have a mask on. That's a hard sell, but think of more than just yourself. Think of everybody else around you. And hopefully when this is all over with, we'll all continue to spend more time thinking about the we than about the me, thinking about the need more than thinking about the greed. And we'll go back to a kinder, softer, better time that we've sort of all been living in right now for the last, what, Fran, month and a half, 2 months? So thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying safe. I hope we brought you some fun, some entertainment, and some interesting knowledge to take you through till the next time we see you. And be safe out there. God bless you, and goodbye.